A former law enforcement officer in Boone County who put his now ex-wife through what authorities call a night of torture will walk away a free man much earlier than expected. And tonight, for the first time, the victim is sharing her story exclusively with us as we investigate how a loophole in legislation could put other victims in this exact same situation. We do want to warn you, some of the pictures you are about to see are graphic. What started as a night out with girlfriends.
I basically told him I was going. I didn't ask. And he was furious over it.
Took a drastic turn once Jessica Woodrum got home that December night in 2016 to her husband, Kevin.
And he just grabbed me by the back of the neck and threw me down in the living room floor.
Ripping her clothes off, forcing her upstairs to their bedroom.
He tied my arms apart and my legs apart, and he turned the heat off in the house. I just remember him reaching toward my head and like grabbing my hair. I remember hearing it.
As he questioned her.
And it's just over and over and over.
About the night.
I guess every time that I said an answer that he didn't like, he would just punch me in the face.
For hours.
His goal was to break my jaw. What he did do was put both of his hands in my mouth, one down, one up, and just stretched it as far as it would go, which ripped my lips on the inside from my gums. I have breast implants, and he just, with all of his might, would try to bust them.
A night of torture Jessica wasn't sure she'd survive.
And he said, "You know I'm gonna kill you, right?" And I said, "I do." And he just looked at me, and I said, "I'm ready, just do it." And he choked me at that point until I passed out.
By daylight, some of Jessica's family members were worried and called police. Before they got there.
And so I remember saying, "I just don't want to have to tell the kids you did this." And he said, "You did this."
Kevin Woodrum's trial began in 2018.
Very long days, very intense days, a lot of testimony.
Kevin Woodrum was found not guilty of second-degree sexual assault and strangulation, but he was found guilty of 4 crimes: domestic battery, second offense, malicious assault, assault during the commission of a felony, and the most serious charge, kidnapping.
So we were pleased with that because we all knew when we left there what that meant as far as a sentence.
Woodrum was sentenced to life with mercy on the kidnapping charge and additional time for the other crimes set to run consecutively. He appealed his case, and earlier this year, the West Virginia Supreme Court overturned 2 charges, kidnapping and assault during the commission of a felony.
They decided that we left out an element of the crime of kidnapping. Everybody in the sequence of the system up to the Supreme Court viewed this particular crime as unlawful restraint with the intent to terrorize the victim. That's how we indicted the case. The Supreme Court looked at the wording of the statute and said, no, that's not the case, that there is another element that requires transportation after one is unlawfully restrained.
In August, Boone County prosecutors dropped those 2 charges against Woodrum.
Every prosecutor in the state has an ethical obligation that if they feel there's not probable cause to pursue criminal charges against somebody, they must dismiss it. And we knew based on the transcript, the testimony of the victim, as well as other witness, that there was no longer evidence that would support kidnapping now with the new element of transportation. And regardless of the emotion that's in it, regardless of the nature of the offense or the facts, our obligation in the end is to make sure that we follow the law.
Without a life sentence, Woodrum is now eligible for parole. His time served by December of next year.
It's very frustrating, and we're extremely disappointed for the victim and her family.
But I can't imagine what it's going to be like to wonder every day. Is this the day? Is he different? Is he mad today? Every day.
Now, it's important to note that we did reach out to Kevin Woodrum's attorney for comment. So far, we have not heard back. We have also spoken with the U.S. Attorney's Office, which we've learned is looking into this case federally. So we'll keep you updated on that. In the meantime, once Woodrum is released, he will remain a convicted felon, and his victim does have a lifetime protection order against him.